My name is Frank Murphy. I am 72 years old. And let me start by destroying a myth before you waste half your life believing it. Old age does not automatically make you wise. It just makes you aware of how fast everything disappeared. I used to think older men had always known who they were, that they walked through life with a map, that by the time you hit 70, you must have figured it out. That is not true. At 28, I looked like I had it all together. I was living in a small apartment outside Philadelphia, accounting degree from a solid state school. Good firm, steady paycheck, health insurance, a used Ford sedan that started every morning. My mother would tell her friends she did not worry about me. My boss told me I was partner material. Neighbors would say I was doing well for my age. But every night, I lay in that narrow bed, staring at a cracked ceiling, feeling like I was slowly disappearing inside my own life. That is the part nobody sees. You can do everything right and still feel wrong. And that is terrifying. People think the danger in life is making mistakes, getting fired, failing, embarrassing yourself. No, the real danger is comfort. The real danger is building a life that looks stable from the outside and feels hollow on the inside. I was not miserable. I was not starving. I was not heartbroken. I was numb. I would sit in traffic on I-95, gripping the steering wheel, watching the same billboards every morning. I would look at the men in the cars around me and wonder if they felt it too. That quiet panic. That sense that time was slipping through our fingers while we pretended everything was fine. I kept telling myself I still had time. Time to travel. Time to fall in love. Time to figure out what I actually wanted. That phrase will ruin your life. I still have time. One rainy Tuesday, I was in a conference room reviewing quarterly projections. Fluorescent lights buzzing, coffee going cold. My boss talking about 5-year growth plans. 5 years. Something snapped in me. I imagined myself 5 years older in the same room, 10 years older, 20, still talking about projections, still telling myself later. I went home that night and could not breathe. Not physically, existentially. I looked around my apartment. The couch I barely used. The television I watched to numb out. The framed diploma on the wall like proof I had followed instructions correctly. And I asked myself one question. If I keep going like this, who do I become? The answer scared me more than unemployment ever could. So I did something reckless. I quit my job, sold my car, closed my apartment lease, took every dollar I had saved, bought one good backpack and a pair of boots, and I decided to walk across the country, from the East Coast to the Pacific Ocean. Not for charity, not for fame, no social media, just me and the road. I did not tell many people. I did not want to hear their fear. I was terrified of looking stupid, of running out of money, of failing halfway through and crawling back home. But I was more afraid of staying. The first weeks were brutal. I started in late spring, crossed through Pennsylvania farmland into Ohio, long stretches of highway where the horizon barely moved. Blisters tore my heels open. Rain soaked through my clothes. I slept in cheap motels when I could afford it. Other nights, I knocked on farmhouse doors and asked if I could work for a place to sleep. Some people shut the door, some did not. I fixed fences for an old cattle rancher near Dayton who barely spoke but handed me a plate of food like it was sacred. I helped a widow in Indiana clear storm debris from her yard, and she insisted I sleep on her porch swing because she did not trust strangers in her house, but did not trust the world to leave me out in the dark either. The road stripped me. No title, no salary, no image to maintain. Just miles and thoughts. Some nights under the stars in Illinois cornfields, I would lie awake and feel small in the best possible way. The sky so wide it made my worries ridiculous. But there were darker nights. In Missouri, I caught a bad infection, fever, weakness. I ended up in a small town hospital for 2 weeks. White walls, IV drip. Doctors asking if I had family to call. Lying there, staring at another ceiling, I had the same clarity I had in my apartment months before. If this is where it ends, do I regret leaving? No. I would have regretted never going. That is when the illusion shattered. Time is not promised. It is rented, and you do not know the lease terms. Before the walk, I thought success meant climbing. Promotions, a better car, a bigger place. On the road, success became different. Success was reaching the next town before dark. Success was a stranger offering water. Success was a clear sunrise after a week of storms. I met a truck driver in Kansas who had lost his business in a bankruptcy. He told me he felt freer driving freight for someone else than when he was chasing expansion and loans. I met a young man outside Denver running from a bad home, angry at the world, convinced he had nothing to lose. I saw my younger self in him. We talked for hours about fear dressed up as ambition. Out there, I realized something brutal. The ladder I had been climbing was leaning against a wall I did not choose. I had inherited the definition of success. I never examined it. Money is useful. Stability matters. I am not romanticizing poverty. But when those become your identity, you trade your soul for applause that fades in 48 hours. On a quiet farm in eastern Colorado, I planned to stay a few days helping with harvest. That is where I met Mary. She was 23, the farmer's daughter, sunburned cheeks, calloused hands, a laugh that made the air feel lighter. She worked harder than anyone on that land, woke before dawn, carried feed buckets like they weighed nothing. But what struck me was not her beauty. It was her presence. She was not chasing later. She was living now. We talked in the evenings on the back steps, watching the fields turn gold at sunset. I told her about the miles behind me. She listened like it mattered. For the first time in years, I did not feel empty. When I left to continue west, I told her I would come back, and I meant it. The final stretch to the Pacific broke me and rebuilt me. The Rockies tested every ounce of pride I had. Thin air, steep climbs, days when I doubted my sanity. But one afternoon in California, I saw it. The ocean, endless, unmoved by my struggle, bigger than my doubts. I took off my boots and walked barefoot into the cold water. Not triumphant, not heroic, quiet. I had not found the ocean. I had found myself. I went back to Colorado. Mary said yes. We stayed on her father's farm. Later we traveled in off-seasons, built a life that was not flashy, but was ours. Now here is the bittersweet part. Mary passed 5 years ago. Cancer does not care about love stories. I am 72. I sit on the same porch some evenings, watching the same fields, but the chair beside me is empty. Do I feel victorious? Yes and no. I did not waste my life in that office. I did not suffocate the voice inside me. I built something real. I loved fully. But I still regret things. I regret years before the walk when I did not call my father enough. He died while I was somewhere between promotions. I regret friendships I let fade because I was too busy being responsible. I regret believing that safety was the same thing as living. You do not get through life without regret. That is the truth nobody puts on greeting cards. But you can choose your regrets. Regret for trying and failing, or regret for never moving at all. Since Mary died, I have had long mornings alone with coffee and memory, and I see clearly now. The biggest mistake is not failure, it is postponement. I will start when I have more money. I will travel when things calm down. I will say I love you when the moment feels perfect. There is no perfect moment. There is only now and not now. So let me ask you something that might make you uncomfortable. If your life ended a year from today, would you be proud of how you are spending this week? Not your 5-year plan. This week. Who are you calling later? What dream are you postponing? What risk are you avoiding because it might look foolish? You are not guaranteed decades to figure it out. Do not burn your life down recklessly. I am not telling you to quit tomorrow without thought. I am telling you to listen. There is a quiet voice inside you. It does not scream, it nudges. Try, go, speak, love, start. Do not drown it out with fear disguised as practicality. Stability is good, but life is bigger than safety. A year and a half on the road shaped the next 40 years of my life. I gained a wife, a family, a story that still warms me when the nights feel long. And yes, I lost her too. That is the cost of loving deeply. You eventually grieve deeply, but I would choose that pain again over a lifetime of numbness. The clock is not dramatic. It is quiet. It ticks while you scroll. It ticks while you delay. It ticks while you convince yourself you have time. You do not have unlimited time. Neither do the people you love. So what are you going to do with the years you have left? Are you going to protect them so carefully that you never use them? Or are you finally going to step onto the road that scares you? I am 72. I do not know how many sunsets I have left. But I know this. The biggest mistake is never going at all. Do not wait until you are my age, sitting on a porch with memories louder than possibilities. Start while the possibilities are still louder. The road is there. The question is simple. Will you walk it?